Hello everyone, welcome to the Scumdogs Kennel. I'm your host, Chris Williams, and in today's Cryptid Corner mini-episode, today we're going to be looking at various mysteries of Stonehenge. One article details why scientists think that the largest stone at Stonehenge might have come from northern England or even Scotland, but the article we'll be reading first is archaeologists propose new explanation for Stonehenge's purpose, and read maybe the, monument was built, basically to signify new people basically immigrating to, England. Either way, let's read this article now. This iconic Stonehenge monument may have been envisioned as a unifying political symbol, but in the end, it turned out to be a failure in achieving its intended purpose. Scientists now believe they have unraveled the mystery behind Stonehenge. According to a study published in Archaeology International, the enigmatic megalith may have been built as a response to increasing immigration from Europe during the Neolithic era. Now, I'm not sure if I believe that's the actual reason that Stonehenge was built, because I think there are other reasons too, folks, that might be even more important. But let's read the argument for, this monument being built for this reason. The monument, with its colossal stones transported from distant regions, was possibly intended to preserve the identity of Neolithic Britain and foster national unity. However, the effort was ultimately unsuccessful, as the island's native population was eventually supplanted by incoming immigrants. A key aspect of this theory is the recent discovery that the 6-ton altar stone at Stonehenge originated from northern Scotland, 600 kilometers away. Previously, researchers had established that the blue stones were transported from Wales, a distance of 225 kilometers, while the larger sarsen stones were sourced just 24 kilometers from the site. As I said, folks, I don't believe Stonehenge was built to basically celebrate, immigrants. But I do think, the fact that the stones did come from all places in the United Kingdom is very telling. But the actual reason why, that's still up for the debate. But this article is arguing that, Stonehenge itself was a monument for, intertribal peace, I guess. As I said, I'm just not sure that basically that kind of idea and thinking existed back in the Neolithic period, folks. It could have, but I have my doubts. I think there are other reasons that maybe science one day will find, but let's read on with this article and hear more of this argument. The study's authors propose that the diverse origins of the stones suggest Stonehenge served both political and religious purposes. It may have symbolized the unity of Britain's people, celebrating their shared ancestry and spiritual connection to the cosmos. Unlike other prehistoric monuments in Britain, which were typically built with stones from within a 7-kilometer radius, Stonehenge's builders transported materials from much further afield. This ambitious endeavor might have been an attempt to represent various ancient communities and establish a collective identity. The various tribes in Stonehenge, perhaps, but apparently, as I said, folks, they were eventually supplanted by basically, foreign invaders. As I said, that's a little to take in because, while the idea that basically in modern times, celebrating something like immigration has happened, at least to some extent, folks. I'm just saying, basically, this was the Neolithic period, and usually, when different tribes and people met, they usually just fought each other and basically didn't celebrate their differences like this, folks. I mean, to me, this sounds a bit silly. But then again, as I said, it's a theory. But let's read on and hear exactly the rest of it now. The researchers speculate that the altar stone arrived during the monument's second construction phase, coinciding with a period of significant societal transformation. Immigrants from mainland Europe were settling in Britain, influencing its Neolithic culture. Stonehenge, they suggest, was an effort to unify the nation in the face of this demographic shift. Unfortunately, by the time the monument was completed, the cultural landscape of Neolithic Britain had been largely replaced by that of the new arrivals. Stonehenge, intended as a symbol of unity and resilience, ultimately failed to preserve the identity of its creators. Now, very interesting, folks, and I have to say, do you think that that's the, real truth of Stonehenge? It was built to basically celebrate, unity for England. As I said, I have my doubts about that, folks, because I'm not quite sure that idea even existed back then. But it is an interesting one, folks, and a little different from the other theories we've read about over the years about Stonehenge. Either way, folks, let's read more about basically one of the stones from England coming from, Scotland with this article. Theory about Stonehenge's iconic altar stone could be wrong, scientists say. You read more about this, discovery about, the altar stone coming from Scotland. So let's get into this article and read all about it. A new study challenges a 100-year-old theory about the origin of the altar stone at Stonehenge, the largest stone in the monument's inner circle. Stonehenge's altar stone probably wasn't sourced from the same region as the other blue stones. The study, published in the Journal of Archaeological Science Reports, suggests that the stone may have come from northern England or Scotland rather than western Wales as previously thought. I guess this article came out before they determined that the stone came from, well, Scotland. But then again, maybe there's still some debate about the altar stone still. But let's read on, folks. The altar stone is a flat-lying gray-green slab of stone that measures 16 feet long, 4.9 meters. It is one of the so-called blue stones that make up the inner circle of Stonehenge, a prehistoric monument on Salisbury Plain in southern England. The blue stones were transported over 140 miles, 225 kilometers from the Preseli Hills in western Wales to Stonehenge during an early construction phase about 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. The origin of the bluestones was first traced by British geologist Herbert Henry Thomas in his seminal 1923 study on Stonehenge. Thomas included the altar stone among the bluestones and claimed that it came from the same region as the others. However, his assessment was based on limited and outdated geological data, according to the new study. The researchers analyzed thin sections of the altar stone under a microscope and compared them with samples from various locations in Britain. They found that the stone's mineral composition and texture did not match any known outcrop in western Wales. Instead, they suggested that the stone may have come from an unknown quarry in northern Britain, possibly in Cumbria or even Scotland. Initially, we feel it is appropriate to investigate areas where there are known ancient monuments of Neolithic ages, Bevan said. These areas stretch across northern England and Scotland, broadening the horizons of a search that is so far focused exclusively on Wales and allowing for creative thinking about the source of the altar stone, he said. Stonehenge was erected during Britain's late Neolithic period, roughly 4,000 to 5,000 years ago on Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire in southern England. The monument was built, rebuilt, and added to over thousands of years, with the bluestones brought to the site during an early construction phase. The researchers said that their findings opened up new possibilities for understanding the archaeological significance of the altar stone and its role in Stonehenge. They also said that the study shows the importance of revisiting old assumptions and using modern methods to reevaluate ancient monuments. Indeed, folks, that is a good idea. Now, what we've talked about today, folks, is very interesting. Indeed, I've heard that basically, Stonehenge was built with stones basically from a quarry, from a site that was very close to Stonehenge. In fact, some of the stones are indeed from the general area that Stonehenge was built in, folks. But other stones come from other parts of, England and even Scotland. So that is indeed very interesting, folks. Because I've heard before, basically, that they explained away Stonehenge as basically being stones built from the surrounding area, and not that the stones came from, further afield, because in their opinion, that was insane. But apparently, that's exactly what happened here, folks. So, the stones did come from all over England and even Scotland, folks. So that's telling you, that indeed there was great effort put into the building of this monument. But why? Was it built to celebrate basically Britain's identity and stuff like that? Was it built as, a calendar, or even maybe as some sort of observatory for maybe the stars? Or, as I said, folks, before, maybe, aliens built it. It's a silly idea, folks, but maybe the ones who built this stone circle were indeed basically influenced by alien beings. Maybe that they saw these sights in the sky, these lights they didn't understand, and tried to emulate them the best they could by building Stonehenge. Or maybe indeed it has pagan roots, and it's indeed something along those lines, folks. We just don't know. I imagine over the years, or rather maybe through the thousands of years of its construction, folks, that maybe it's been used for more than one purpose, and indeed, there's more to it than anyone can really guess at. But until scientists can find, more answers on this, we'll just have to wonder about it. Anyway, we're at the end, folks, so please go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Read comics, they're bad for you. You can use the YouTube link down below in the descriptions of the chat to go subscribe to me. Hit that like button for me. Make sure you're still subscribed. Leave some comments down below. Hit that bell for notifications. Make sure to hit the part of the bell that will give you all future notifications, and please share this video out. I'm Chris Williams from the Scumdogs Kennel. Thank you all for joining me. I'll be back again tomorrow with another great video, so be sure to come back again then. Till next time, folks, I'll see you all again soon.